Welcome to Beyond Bounce, presented by ZTE. I'm your host, Byron Bogart, and joining me today, Mr. Acie Law IV. Welcome to the show, Ace.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
All right, so Ace, let's get right into it. You are in a new position kind of here with the Legends. You are our NBA front office apprenticeship, and you're learning front office, how to work in front office, general managership, and we're learning some contracts, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Us former players trying to make that transition, and this program made sense for me. I aspire to ultimately work in the front office, and when this presented itself, I just thought it was a good match, and thus far it's been so good, and I'm just glad that this opportunity presented itself with the Legends, and I'm able to apply what I learned and help this team.
Now, you've kind of been doing a half and half. The first half of the season, you were in New York with the NBA league offices. Kind of tell us what were you doing then, and then what are you kind of doing now for the rest of the season?
We're just getting exposed to all the different departments that take place to help run the league. As players, for me, when I was in the league, I never went to the office, amazingly so, but getting in there, the referee department, we're learning the CBA, how that works, which has been the most eye-opening component for me, just figuring out, you think that $99 million the team has to spend, that you can just go spend it, and that's not the case. But international, man, we've put on BWB camps, and it's just all the facets that make the NBA tick, we've been exposed to it.
Now, during your playing career, did you always know you wanted to go more towards front office rather than coaching? Because you're seeing most point guards want to get out there and try their hand at coaching.
No, initially I thought I wanted to coach, and a part of me do want to coach, but I have young children, and my daughter's 8, my son is 5, and I think to really, really be successful as a coach, the time you got to commit to be great, I'm just not ready to make that commitment now. I think the front office is more suited for at this juncture in my life. But maybe coaching with something we may visit later on.
All right, 8 and 5-year-old, they in the hoops yet?
No, my daughter, she doesn't want to play. She's a dancer and a volleyball player. Okay. My son likes basketball, but he's more into soccer and baseball now.
A little early for him?
Yeah, I think it's too young at 5 to be playing organized basketball.
All right. So when that day does come, because now is he the 5th?
He's the 5th.
Oh man! So is that any pressure being the 4th and the 5th? That's a name you got to keep up with.
Man,
right?
my granddad. My granddad told me when I was a young pup. He said it's up to you to keep this legacy going, and my son now has those same instructions. I'm living up to it the best I can, and passing my knowledge down to him, and hopefully he continues the legacy.
Now, if your son doesn't have a boy, is he frowned upon now?
No,
for the rest of life, or what?
No, you're not frowned upon.
These are some high numbers, eh?
No, man, it is what it is. No pressure, But if he has a boy, hopefully it's the 6th, and we can continue to build on this thing.
Now, is that even a discussion?
I mean, he's 5, man.
Was it a discussion with your dad?
My granddad gave me the instruction and told me to keep it going. And my dad we'll have that same conversation when my son gets a little older. Yeah, eventually, but not yet. He's only 5.
Now, growing up, do you have any siblings?
I have 2 sisters, and I have an older half brother. Me and my brother, not as close, but my 2 baby sisters, I mean, they mean a lot to me, and they doing well, and I made it to the NBA and been able to help their life out a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, did they play sports?
My sister, they tried. They wasn't as good.
They went to tryouts?
They tried it. They learned.
Now they have an A, B, and C team, so you can't get cut.
They learned pretty quick that this wasn't going to be the career path that they were going to be on. But they're both doing well. And I'm proud of them.
And then you are the great nephew, our research department. You're the great nephew of the great Ernie Banks, huh?
Yeah, man. God rest his soul. We lost him recently, but yeah, man.
One of the greatest to ever do it.
Pioneer, man. It's an honor for me to be related to him. Got to meet him a ton. Spent a lot of time with him. He gave me a great deal of advice growing up through the ranks. I got a funny story. He offered to take me away from my family. He wanted me to come live with him. And my dad had some not so kind words for him. But man, he was near and dear to me, man, and supported me a ton, and I learned a lot from him.
And then you had a great career here, stellar career. So you grew up in Dallas your whole life?
Born and raised.
Okay, so you stellar career at Kimball High School, one of my rivals in basketball. I knocked us out of the playoffs, but we had to play in y'all's backyard.
You're not a Carter guy, are you?
South Garland,
No,
South
okay.
Garland. We about to win state championship this year, you know what I'm saying?
That's not a rival.
It's a rival.
South Garland's not a rival.
But they about to win the championship this whole day. Great career at Kimball. There were some other names that people may not know that have come through that high school.
Oh, man, yeah. It's a great program. I mean, Quentin Ross, Gerald Sasser, Jason Walton, myself. We have a kid now in the NBA, Juwan Evans, who came out of Kimball, very good player. There's some history there, man, and I'm proud to come out of it and contribute to it. It's a good. This is where I learned a lot.
Now you learned a lot there, but then you took your talents to A&M down south here in South Texas, and then you earned the name Captain Clutch.
Yeah.
Now that is up there with one of the best nicknames ever.
I made a couple shots, and I think that's over exaggerated. No, but best time of my career by far. I developed so many great, impactful relationships there. My teammates, we still talk every couple days now. We had a lot of success. Eventually, we got around to the success. We started out on 16, but we able to turn that thing around, man, and have a lot of fun and create a lot of great
Definitely
memories.
did that, and that era was kind of where they could stand on where they're at kind of now. That led to some good things down there.
Yeah, man, we kind of kicked the door in. I mean, A&M wasn't really known for being a basketball powerhouse. But man, we was able to have a lot of success, bring a lot of awareness to the program, and a lot of kids that followed us had intrigue with A&M, and you see it now that the program is well established. NCAA tournaments every other year or so, and they're continuing to build.
All right, now while earning that nickname, now you say it over exaggerated, whatever, you earned it. I mean, somebody else named you that. Do you have a favorite big shot that kind of sparked the legend of Captain Khaleed?
Man, I've been asked that question a ton. It's hard to.
They're all like your children. You can't just choose one?
No, it was more so than the shot for myself. It just the impact what our team was trying to accomplish. It was all incremental parts to the build up, which was to make it to the NCAA tournament. So it's hard to just pick one. But I mean, the one over KD, we ended up losing that game, but that was just almost like, how did I make that?
Yeah. It was all the time in the gym. You know, right?
Yeah. So it was like I said, man. It's just great memories. All in all, man, it's a great time in my life.
And then moving on, you had a good NBA career and a great overseas career with 2 European championships. Yeah. Now, how do you think your playing career will help you transition into your front office career or your future coaching career? How do you think all that translates and helps you out?
I think the biggest thing for me, I can identify the mistakes I made. There's no do-overs in life, and me being a young guy coming into a lot of money, didn't make the best decisions. And I think the player perspective and understanding that what players are going to be going through as they come into the NBA, there's value in that. I love the game of basketball. I study, I watch it a ton. So I think my knowledge I'm pretty smart about the game. And I'm willing to work. I think I'm hungry, have appetite for winning, and just looking forward to getting an opportunity to contribute to a team in any capacity.
All right, we're going to get off basketball just a little bit before we wrap things up. I need your favorite teammate and your favorite coach of all time. It's starting off in YMCA, boys, wherever.
My favorite coach, man, is my college coach, Billy Gillespie. My dad has been very impactful in my life, always supported me, always been there. But I consider Coach G as a father figure type. When I'm going through things, to this day, if I don't want to talk to my dad, he's somebody I can call and lean on. I know that his career derailed a little bit when he left A&M, but he's somebody that has helped me, impacted me, and that I love a lot.
And then favorite teammate ever?
Man, that's tough, man.
And do they know that they're your favorite team, or they're just about to find out?
No, they'll be about to find out. I've never said it to anybody. It's hard to identify one, man. It's like the shot is just. Everybody played a part in me, this journey I went on to have the success I have. I look at it this way. A lot of players and my teammates made sacrifices and allowed me to be the best basketball player I can be and had the opportunity to make it to the NBA. And I truly believe that. And I'm grateful for them all, man, throughout the journey that they made sacrifice to allow me to be the best I could be.
By passing you the ball, letting you get the big shots, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
sometimes that guy may not be willing to pass that shot up and take
Absolutely.
it. I want that shot against KD. You never know. So
Absolutely.
Thank you to all of your former teammates, I guess.
All of them. All
right, so we're about to get into one of the most debatable parts of our show. Mm-hmm. All right, but before that, there was a crossover this week. Uh-huh. You being a guy that maybe cross a guy up every once in a while. The James Harden crossover. I think that's one of the greatest in my lifetime. Where does that rank with you in ankle breakers?
Oh man, it doesn't get into discussion for the top. I saw it and didn't think that. I didn't immediately see that and identify with the greatest crossover I've ever seen.
Okay. You have one?
I mean, you got the Iverson on Jordan that comes to mind. Stevie Francis, he had a couple.
What's the Allison and Jordan? This though?
Huh?
The leverage in this was just something nasty.
It was. Man, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm hating. James Harden
He looked back that way.
Toward James Harden?
Yeah, well, James looked all around the place.
I mean, James is amazing, but you talk about crossovers and really just breaking a guy down with the handle. I think it was a little contact involved in that play.
He got a little push off?
Yeah, he got a little shoulder.
A little controversy?
When you talk about the handle and just really breaking your guy down, that doesn't fit into the top 5 that's ever happened.
Do you remember one of your best ones?
I mean, Iverson had so many. The Jordan, Antonio Davis, when he made him fall. Mm-hmm. Derrick Rose made Andre Miller sit Indian style one time.
Mm-hmm. That was a nasty chicken leg.
So there's been so many great ones, and James Harden has a highlight reel of crossovers. It was just he hasn't had that one yet to put him in the top 5.
All right. We're going to get into more than that off the show, all right? And now it's time for your NBA All-Time Greats, top 5 of all time, period. Whew. And you can have a 6th man.
Okay, we're going to start with LeBron.
Okay.
Jordan.
Is this in order?
LeBron, I'm going to give you position to 5.
Okay.
Magic's my point, Jordan's my 2, LeBron's my 3, Dirk's my 4.
Okay.
And Hakeem Olajuwon is my 5.
Why Dirk over some of the other 4s?
I'm a Dallas native, mm-hmm. and for what he did for this city, bringing us a championship, matched. I think that he was the type that he didn't always. And I'm not knocking his teammates because he played with some great players, but he wasn't the type of guy, especially you see now in this climate, superstars going to try mm-hmm. to gang up to win. He went through the bad times, persevered through it, and ultimately delivered a championship here. Mm-hmm. And I think that, man, he's arguably one of the greatest clutch performers mm-hmm. to ever grace the floor. And I hold him in high regard, man. And Tim Duncan, KG, Karl Malone, I mean, there's legendary power forwards. But you give me Dirk any day of the week, and I think I got a chance.
I roll with Dirk in the prime any day. Now, how do you feel about that? You're not Charles Barkley and them. You're kind of like right in that middle. You're a former player, but you're not that former of a player. How do you feel about the transitioning of back in the day where MJ and them made? You're not going to probably go see him play with Larry Bird and them. How do you feel about that part of the climate of the game?
I don't want to speak negatively to it. It's what it's evolved to. Mm-hmm. I think there's a difference. I think that back then it took place as well. Mm-hmm. We never saw Jordan do it, mm-hmm. but you saw Shaq play with another great player in Kobe. You saw Charles Barkley try to go get with Dream and win. When you saw Clyde Drexler do it. Larry Bird played with arguably the greatest team ever assembled mm-hmm. with McHale and Parrish. Magic played with the greatest big man arguably of all time. So I mean, to have success in the NBA, it's been proven you got to have a great team. Mm-hmm. And I think guys now with free agency being in effect, taking control of their careers and figuring out what's the best way for me to maximize my earning potential, but at the same token, win championships, and you seeing it, and they take advantage of it.
Well said. Well, Acie, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here. And thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Bounce. Until next time, we'll see you later.